here. I'm ready. Hi, everybody. Hi, hi, hi. All right. So if you are watching this live, I want you to say hi in the comments. If you're watching the replay, say hashtag replay. We're going to have an amazing theme, amazing time today. I love talking about content creation, so this is an absolute treat for me. Yesterday we talked about the number one moneymaker that most entrepreneurs ignore, and it was really fascinating. Hi, Dr. Mitra. Because that theme is consistent strategic content creation, right? Creating content is something that could be a total waste of time, or it's something that can completely transform your business. And so I'm so proud of the doctors who are like, I am owning it. I'm starting my blog in the next 30 days. I'm starting my podcast in the next 2 weeks. The doctors who are like, I am up leveling my podcast, taking it to the next level. So big shout out to everyone. Because massive action, that's where all of this starts from. When I started off with my podcast, which is my primary platform, if you will, for content, I had no idea it would have the impact that it's had. So we're talking about 221 episodes that have gone live, almost 250,000 downloads. If you think about that, that's just crazy. That's a quarter of a million downloads, and so many stories of life change. And of course, a huge impact for my business, right? Because yesterday we talked about that know, like, and trust factor. People are like, my goodness, look at how much value I'm getting from the free stuff. I really need to come be a part of the Untitled Business School and, take it even further. So podcasting has absolutely changed my life, has changed my business, has changed the amount of the magnitude of the impact I've been able to have, which is what we want as doctors, right? We want to help people. So it's so great. All right. And I'm going to be showing you today one of the most critical parts of content creation. Okay. So we're going to do that. This alone, if you are about to start a platform, so YouTube channel, podcast, or blog, this alone will be the number one difference maker. And if you're looking to up level, this alone is exactly what you're looking for. So this is going to be super powerful. Okay. So super excited about it. Yesterday I did talk about on TrenD Live, and I'm just gonna, talk about it for about 30 seconds here. Many of you have registered, where, we have hundreds of doctors that are going to be coming for it, and it is that event that kind of weaves everything together, right? So there are mindset shifts that you have to experience. We talk about that there. There's strategy and there's networking. Oh my goodness, you are talking about hundreds of doctors who've raised their hands and said, I want to be a wildly successful physician entrepreneur in one space. Right, in one space. The doctors from the Untitled Business School who are killing it are going to be there as well. It's just going to be a phenomenal time, and it's free to you, right? But you can ask anybody for any of the events that I do that they've been for. They will tell you that my number one superpower, these are their words, not mine, is that I over deliver. Okay, so it's free to you, but it's not a casual webinar kind of something put together. No. This is something that when you walk away, if you're like, man, if I spent thousands of dollars on that event, I would have made my money back, right? It's that kind of event. So ontremd.com/live, ontremd.com/live, save your spot. Save the date. It's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You don't want to attend part of it. You want to be there for all of it. You want to engage. It will change your life. It will. Okay. So let's talk about this number one thing, okay? Why am I talking about this? Because content creation, and you can type this in the chat, content creation can be a waste of time or a game changer. Okay? So this one thing we're going to talk about is kind of what makes it one or the other, whether that's a waste of time or a game changer. And for any physician, you already have like limited time, right? You're already busy. You already have a lot of things to do. You're a big dreamer. You have a lot of goals to accomplish and all of that. The last thing you need is something that you're going to do every week. That's going to be a complete waste of time. We don't have time for that, right? And so what is that thing? What makes the difference? There are people who are, in the social media world, they talk about it being like rich and money poor. There are people who are download rich, right? But money poor. And it doesn't mean you're going out there like directly, like, I'm just creating this so I can go and make money. That's not what it's about. But in the on world, we believe in having balanced businesses, okay? There's some people who want to help a lot of people and they're like, I don't care about the money, which you'll find out that you can't help a lot of people if you don't figure out the money. And there are people who are like, I'm all about the money, if I help people, whatever, but I really, all I want is the money, which that's going to dry up because if people see that you're not helping them, they're going to walk away with their money, right? The best kind of businesses are the businesses that help people and generate revenue. So in the entrepreneurial world, we say they serve and they earn. You want your business to do both of them. And really, this is something that I would like us to take ownership of, and especially for physicians, because we are totally cool helping people and not making money. Our main driver is not making money. I mean, there are easier ways to do that than medical school. Why did you go into multiple six figures of debt and give over a decade of your life to be in a position to help people? Because you like helping people, right? And so we want to help people, but we also want to earn so we can continue to help people. We can help them in a bigger way. We can have the financial freedom to give ourselves wholly to helping people, right? So we have to figure the money thing, right? So you can type this in the chat. My business serves and earns. A balanced business should do both. A business that's going to have a huge impact, that's going to help you create a legacy and all of that, is a business that serves and earns. It has to do both of them, okay? So they're like, oh my goodness, Dr. Una, what is that one thing? Well, I'm glad you asked. If you are not going to give people a call to action after you're done delivering your content, there's no point creating it. Okay, and I'll explain exactly what I mean. But if you are not going to do a call to action, there is no point creating your content at all. Okay, and what is a call to action? It's an ask. It's something you tell people to do, right? You teach them and you tell them to do something. You give them an instruction. You give an ask, whatever that is. And there are two kinds of asks. I'm going to talk about it. So, let's just lean into this. Now, people think that if you teach somebody something, they'll just do it. Or if they got a lot of value from what you do, they'll just want to work with you. I cannot tell you how many times, so EntreMD has a private Facebook group, and if you're not a part of it, you should join the group. Just search for EntreMD on Facebook, you'll see it. So not the business school, just EntreMD. One of the things I get asked a lot is, I want to know how to get a lot of clients or a lot of patients without going after them, right? I want to know how to fill up my panel without marketing, right? I want to know how I can just do or there's statements like, when I do good work, people should just come to me. I shouldn't need to ask, okay? And Donald Miller, in one of his talks, he's the Story Brand Business Made Simple guy, and he, one of his talks, he was actually speaking to people on stage, and he said, you know what, guys, follow me. So he gets off stage, walks through the crowd, walks outside, waits for everybody to come outside, okay? So everybody comes outside, and everybody's like, yeah, so what's going on? He's like, I just wanted to prove to you guys, and I'm paraphrasing, I just want to prove to you guys that if you don't tell people to do something, they won't do it. And if you tell them to do something, they will do it, right? And so I'm not on stage, and I'm not going to make everybody walk outside, but the point is, people will never, and you might want to type this in the chat, so, we just do the typing so you can remember and process everything, right? People will not say yes to a question you didn't ask, and people will not do what you didn't tell them to do, okay? And so when you create content, remember that your content is a means to an end. Your content is not the end, right? You want your content to do two main things. One is you want people to be able to sample your product or service. You want people to sample working with you. People should listen to your content, watch it, read it, and start getting wins from it. Start experiencing life change for it, where they're like, my goodness, this person is the real deal. Like, what they talk about, it really works, right? You want your content to make them get ahas. And why do you want that? Because for some people, that's what they need to start working with you. For some other people, they may never work with you. But guess what? If they see somebody who has a problem you solve, they're like, oh, yeah, absolutely. You need to go to her. You need to go to him. That's the person you need to go to, right? And so one is you want to help them get wins. Two is you want to give them the opportunity to discover that you're the right person to work with, right? So you want them to get wins so they can decide to work with you or refer, but you also want them to work with you. And I think this is a good spot to pedal back because, I want to, just in case you have some mindset things getting in your way where you're like, well, it's selling and selling is sleazy and all of that. If you think selling is sleazy, I wrote this book for you. Okay. And there are a number of podcast episodes on there. I have a whole chapter here on mindset myth. The mindset myth, selling is not professional. Okay. And you can read that. I mean, it's an amazing book. Go get it. But I will talk about it here a little bit. Okay. Selling, when we think about selling, sometimes we think about manipulation, taking advantage of people, trying to take people's money, and things like that. And selling really is is leading somebody with a problem to a solution, the end, right? Sometimes it just feels weird because there's money involved. I mean, we have some money drama that we haven't worked through yet, but we do this all the time. As a physician, if you have a patient who has cancer and says, and we're like, this is a treatable cancer, we have to do chemo and all of that, and they tell you, I don't want to do chemo, I want to do a natural diet, I want to do intermittent fasting, I want to drink a lot of water. You will start selling them on getting chemo, right? You would sell them on the fact that, okay, we have a problem here, there's cancer, and you show them the outcome like, oh my goodness, survival rate with this cancer, with this chemo regimen is 95%, and all of that. You go into you sell them on it. Doesn't feel sleazy at all. Why? You're taking someone with a problem to a solution. That's what you did, right? Think if, like I'm a pediatrician and, Johnny's here and Johnny has an ear infection and mom's like, no, I really want to do some herbs, right? I am going to go into this thing and I'm going to sell her on why, no. It's very simple. We just need to do amoxicillin for Johnny, right? So that is selling. Okay, so with your business, what is selling? So let me use myself as an example. So I'm a business coach, business strategist for physician entrepreneurs. I help physician entrepreneurs build, 6, 7, and multiple 7-figure businesses. That's what I do. Okay, now if somebody comes to me and they're like, I've tried to start this business, I've been thinking about it for the last 3 years, or let's say not even that, I have this business, I have this private practice, I've been running it for the last 2 years, it is not profitable, the practices around me are not profitable, I don't think I can do this, right? That person has a problem. What is the solution? Well, what is the outcome? What could it look like for the person, right? They could have this practice that is very profitable. They can learn how to build a team. So the team is doing the, is helping them with building the practice so that they can have some time, right, back for the things that matter to them, whether that's family, whether that's a second business, whatever that is. And it's not a pie in the sky. We've done this for many students in the EntreMD Business School who have gone from start to $1 million to 2.5 million to 5, whatever the number is. And so me telling that person, come join the EntreMD Business School, is not me manipulating the person no, I am saying that because you have this problem and this problem has a solution and your life can look like this, right? So type that in the comments, right? Selling is taking somebody with the problem to the solution. And that's why you're in business. You're not in business to go and take people's money. You're in business to solve problems, but you get a thank you note called money, right? So you're not leading, you're not just like, whose money can I take? You're helping people. Well, we live in an economic world, which means when you help people, you get a thank you note called money. Okay? And the reason why I stopped to explain that is because if you have any mindset drama around telling people come work with me or come to my private practice or any of those things, what will end up happening is when it gets to the point where you should make a call to action, it will feel yucky, it will feel icky, you won't say it, and you'll walk away, right? But if you haven't told your people, your listeners who are already getting amazing wins from what you do, where to find you, how to work with you, whether it's a phone number, a website, all of that stuff, then they can't work with you. They want to. You're already getting them wins. In fact, some of them are like, I wish I could work with her, but she's not talking about working with her, so maybe she's so busy. So they do you a favor and go to somebody else, right? If you are here in private practice, I'm sure you've had the experience where a patient asked you, oh, are you accepting new patients? And you're like, the first time someone asked me that, I was shocked. I was like, we are always accepting new patients, right? I was like, why would she ask that, right? So here I am trying to grow my private practice, not realizing that my patients think I'm busy and they're doing me a favor and not referring patients to me because they're like, oh, look, she has patients here. She must be super busy. Okay, so type this in the chat. We are owning all kinds of things here. We're owning it. So what are we owning right now? I will use a call to action with every piece of content I create. I will use a call to action with every piece of content I create. Okay? Now, let me give you two kinds of calls to action, okay? So you can start applying this right away. So whether you're doing YouTube videos, whether you're doing a podcast, whether you're doing a blog, and this works, listen, this works whether you are building your own personal brand, whether you run a private practice, whether you're a coach, it doesn't matter. This works, okay? All right. So call to action number one. Number one would be to tell people what to do. Okay, so tell them what to do based on what you taught. Give them an action step. Okay, so for instance, yesterday I taught on the number one moneymaker most entrepreneurs ignore. I taught you that that was content. I showed you the power. So that's strategic content creation, right? Consistent strategic content creation. And I'm like, look at the power of it, what it can do in your business. What was the call to action? Make a commitment. Over the next 30 days, you're either going to launch your platform, so which is your YouTube channel, podcast, or blog, or you are going to up level the current platform that you have. Okay? And then what did that do? It made some people go like, oh yes, I'm going to launch my podcast. I'm going to launch my YouTube channel. I'm going to up level what I had. They made the commitments. And guess what's going to happen over the next 30 days? We're going to have all these new platforms that are launched, all these new platforms that are up level, people doing it in a bigger way, getting results in their business, right? And they will say, oh my goodness, I watched the 17-minute video by Dr. Una and look at the ripple effect it has created. Okay, so tell people what to do. Tell them what to do. If you teach them, then you summarize it to an action point. Can they deduce that on their own? Of course. Are most people going to do that? No. Are people more likely to respond if you tell them, now go and do this? Yes. Okay, so that's one call to action. Okay, that's one. The second one is a direct call to action to come and work with you. Okay, now we've already talked about it, right? This is not sleazy, slimy, yucky, trying to take advantage of people. No, this is you taking somebody with a problem to a solution. And you have a business and your business offers the solution. Okay, so for instance, if you are, let's say you are a private practice owner and you are, say, internal medicine, and you talk about chronic health conditions, so diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, all of those things. And you did a video, right? And you said these are three natural things you can do to help with your hypertension. And you start telling them about diet and exercise and stress management and all of that. And you do that and you're done, right? Call to action number one, you can do something like, so for today, I want you to make a commitment to do 1, 2, 3, or one. You can tell them one, that's fine. Or it could be a different video. You're like, so try all these things. They do work. But if you do have a diagnosis of hypertension, or if you live in this area and you're looking for a doctor, come check me out at blah, blah, blah. Or go schedule your appointments with me here, right? And you're telling them. What that does is it makes your content a revenue generator. Right? So some people are going to watch it then and people will make appointments. Somebody is going to watch it a month from then and make an appointment. Somebody's going to watch it a year from then and make an appointment. Okay? So the more you do it, the more you create this massive web that is drawing people into your world, people that you can help. And they will give you thank you notes called money. Right? Okay. So is that call to action? Say you are a coach and you teach somebody, on, something about stress management. You teach them all that. You tell them use that. But if you're ready to do a deep dive, you're like, I've dealt with this stress thing for so long, and I finally want to live that. I want to live above that level. I want to bring back joy into my life and enjoy what I do. Well, I am the coach for you. So come schedule a call with me at boom, 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 boom. Right? It's a direct call to action. Now, I will say this. This is the most important part of your content creation. Not that you live to do that, but it's kind of like a LeBron James, right? He's a really good basketball player, and of course he can dribble, and of course he can pass, and of course he can do all of those things. The most important thing is to put the ball in the basket. Right? You can be good at anything you want, but when you're done, whatever you do, just make sure the ball goes into the basket. And with your business, the primary purpose of your business is to serve your clients. Remember, your content is a means to an end. The primary goal is I need to serve my clients, right? I need to help them. That's what a business does. A business helps people and gets a thank you note called money. And so your content creation, you want to help people, you want to inspire people, you want to do all of that, but you also want to give people the opportunity to work with you. That is your highest level of service, is working with them directly, right? And so it's uncomfortable. This is the most uncomfortable part of it, but it's the most important, right? So you're going to help people. There's so many things your content can do, but your business needs people you can work with. Okay. So it's uncomfortable. I've had people actually tell me, yeah, I did a webinar and I got to the point of the call to action, but the people were having a great time and I was giving them lots of good information. So I decided that I would do a call to action the next time. And I'm like, no, you just wanted to stay in your comfort zone. You're a doctor. Doctor comes from the Latin word that means to teach. You love to teach. And teaching is great. And helping people get wins is great and all of that. But let me tell you, there was somebody sitting there who was like, man, I would love to work with her. Man, I would love to work with him. Man, I've been looking for a doctor like him. But if you are a doctor on YouTube, I guarantee you people are making the assumption that you're too busy. Like you're a celebrity, so you don't have time. Right? So if you don't tell them, they won't know. And they will not refer because they think they're doing you a favor by not telling people about your business. Right? So call to action, call to action, call to action. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. But it is something that has to be done. Okay? So who is going like, what? Every piece of content is going to have a call to action from now on. It could be number one, where you're telling people what to do with the content you just gave them, or number two, where you're giving them an opportunity to work with you directly. So who's owning that? If that's you, say me in the chat. Me, 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 me. Me, me, me. That's what I want to hear. That you've made a decision that every piece of content you produce from now on is going to have a call to action. It's going to be uncomfortable, but you're deciding, I am going to do it. I'm going to do the uncomfortable thing. It will be great for my listeners. It will be great for my business. Okay, so this is the ultimate win-win situation. Okay, and if you have any mindset stuff around it, you remember what I said, go get the book. Okay, I have podcast episodes on it too. I think I have one, Selling is Not Sleazy or so. But yeah, so do that. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to leave you with this. Okay, tomorrow we're doing a Facebook live-a-thon. Okay, so tomorrow we'll have another live session. But so if you have questions, post them in the comments. I would add them to future content. I'll create a whole video about it. I'll create a podcast episode about it. I'm all about serving physicians. Okay, I'm here to serve physicians and help us thrive as entrepreneurs, because we absolutely can. Okay, and if you did not save your spot for EntreMD Live, I want you to do that. EntreMD.com/live. And the reason why we're doing that is because this is great, but now we're going to have a bigger container, right? What's the mindset you need to thrive with this? What's the overall strategy for a profitable business? And then the networking, like off the chain. Last EntreMD Live, people created all kinds of networks, because you're talking about hundreds of physicians who want to be physician entrepreneurs in the same space. It's absolutely amazing. Okay. All right. So do that. And I am rooting for you. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to seeing your contents where you deliver really high value. It's really inspiring. It has action steps and all that. And you're telling people what to do. You're inviting people to work with you. You're attracting the clients that you want. People are saying yes to you. You're able to help people, which is what you really want to do. And you're able to earn. You're building that business that serves and earns. So I'm super excited for you. So thank you for joining. Don't forget to get your tickets on trimd.com/live. It's free to you, but it will absolutely change your life. So I'll see you tomorrow for our next live session.